Hey folks, Evil Pajamas here with another Civilization 6 video. It's December 2020, so the most recent update that we've had is the Heroes and Legends mode along with the Babylon civilization. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing in on how to use your Heroes and Legends content to supplement your early game defense and deal with an early surprise war by the AI while still managing to get your infrastructure built. So that can be a difficult thing to manage on higher difficulty levels. So we'll be playing on deity level difficulty settings on a fractal map with standard settings for everything else. And if you want to skip ahead to the surprise war part, I will bookmark that part. Otherwise, you can tune in for the beginning part where we'll be going over how we had our initial city set up and that kind of stuff. But after the surprise war starts, we'll be discussing specifically the concept of how to balance your defense against your infrastructure production. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. First, let's take a look at our starting area. So we've got a very good starting placement here. You can see there is a lot of 4 production output tiles here, and we have a fresh water source, and we have some mountains here for those districts that like mountain adjacency. So we're going to want to stay by the fresh water source here, and so we can tell by this type of water source that is a larger water body. It's not just a small lake, because that's indicating that it's coastal water over there. So I think what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to move here even though we lose a turn. And that is simply because if we don't move, we will eradicate this forest when we take our first city. So we'll go ahead and move over here, and that will lose us a turn, and we've got even more goodies over here because we've got citrus over here. So we lost a turn, but we are in a very good starting position here. So now with our warrior, when we take a look at this, so we already moved around this way, so we've seen quite a bit of this area, and it's difficult to say here which direction you want to move. This is sort of a tough decision because we don't know where the flatland is necessary, but if we hover over this, that's a movement cost of 2 there. So this looks like the edge of probably another hills tile. So there's no particular area that we can see from here that we're going to get a lot of flatland movement to explore, but we know if we go this way, we'll have to cross the river and we'll lose another movement step. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and move along. Probably there's another river over here, so we'd like to see, I think that favors going this way rather than this way. So we're going to go to the southeast here, and so we still have some impeded movement here, but I think that that was probably the best choice given the information that we had there. So we will go ahead and we will settle here on our next turn. Alright, so we've placed our initial starting city, and now we have a difficult decision to make. This is one of the more difficult starting decisions because we just don't have a lot of information at this point. So there is a scout, which is going to be a little bit faster for exploring and 1 turn faster than building the slinger, but the downside is you're not going to be able to hope on getting that early eureka for archery that you'll want. The monument gives us the option for summoning an early game hero, as well as giving us the culture that we'll need to expand our borders out. But we won't need an immediate border expansion because we can't work this citrus yet. The other option would be the builder here, but then we wouldn't get to explore much of the map, and if you are going to get any of the first meets on deity level difficulty, obviously you're going to have difficulty doing that with the number of units that the AI has out. So you'd have to do it pretty quickly, and if you go builder first, you're going to lose out on a lot of those first meets. So that said, my preference is to go slinger over scout just to be able to get that option to get that early eureka. So because we're going slinger over scout, now we have to consider whether or not we want to go with mining, because we're not going to be getting an early worker. So if we go with pottery, that's going to open up the path into the district which you want early for Korea. because they have their special building being a campus. So I think we will actually go with pottery. 9 times out of 10, I go with mining there, but I think because we're playing with Korea, we want to have the flexibility to go quickly into getting the early campus if we want. So, so we are here now, and we have to make a choice as to which way we want to travel here. Because we can see the outline of a river down here, we'd like to explore that, and we've got a flatland tile here that makes it easier to move. So we're going to go ahead and move along there, and we see we've got a river with a wheat bonus source, so that will potentially help with irrigation. It's within 3 tiles of the city, so we can actually reach it with our starting city if we purchased out to that. So the benefit of where we are now is we have 4 tiles though, and we don't need to that are good tiles. So we don't need to purchase to get to a good tile right now. So that is where we're at now on our start. So the only decision we have to make on this turn without any new information is which way to move our warrior. And I did sort of make a mistake. I mentioned that this is a 1 movement cost tile, which it is, but because it's surrounded only by 2 movement cost tiles, it doesn't really benefit me because I can't cross the river by the benefit of having this. So the question is whether we want to move out this way or we want to come down this way. So because the bananas are, well, we can actually reach the bananas still from the starting city. So we actually are probably, I think we at this point, I think we're going to favor going this way simply because it's closer. We have to walk more tiles to explore more in the other direction. So we'll walk over this way. We see we've got an elephant source now here, and we already knew that this was desert, but we now know that around here that we have a non-desert border, so it's not a huge desert in this direction. So that helps us. And so again, not a lot of decision making here, but we've uncovered a tribal village. So that's going to be our first new source of information there, where we're maybe going to want to adjust our strategy. So if we come down here,
Our city
we've got a first
this
city-state meet. Unfortunately, it's not a first city-state meet. It's just a city-state meet. So they have Samarkand has is that like the Final Fantasy X city? I don't know. It has the Suzerain bonus of being able to make the trading dome improvement. Never invested a lot in that, but it looks like it could be sort of a fun strategy, but it's not something that I've ever really tried out. So at this point, we see that we've got another good area down here for a potential second starting city, maybe along has a horrible, and it's difficult because there's no fresh water source here, so that's really detracts from that. But we're along the edge of a desert, which gives us sort of a Petra option. But let's see what we get here.
Our civilization has accomplished.
So we've discovered Beowulf, which means that we're going to have an option for good early game defense, and we've also gotten the boost for astrology without discovering a natural wonder. So that will give us the option to possibly found a religion if we decide to take advantage of that astrology boost, but then that will slow down Korea's campus building, so I don't know how much that boost is going to necessarily help us. So no change based upon that because I don't have any reason to change to try and get Beowulf out quicker because I'm already halfway into producing a slinger and there's no reason immediately that I'm going to need to get Beowulf out. So here we are here, and we've got the options to go more tiles along here, but we're basically running farther into something we already have information on. And if we zoom in here, it looks like the coast might be, it's potentially that this is the coastline here. So walking farther in that direction, it may not be a lot of benefit even though we can walk farther. So for that reason, we're going to pop over here, and now we've revealed part of the map, and we're staying away from a dead end over there, hopefully. Not that I hope that that's a dead end, but we're just staying away from going to a dead end. So we have met now John Curtin, and we will send him a delegation so that we can try and keep friendly status with him. So -8 first impressions, and then +3 offset for setting the delegation. So unfortunately, that means that he is going to be competing and likely has the scout here for doing the exploration. So because this goes closer to him, and I want to stay farther away from him to try and get some discoveries first, we'll go here, and then we'll have 2 more turns till our slinger. And as you can see, he's got his settler guarded. Now, if he didn't have the settler guarded, you know, that would probably be an opportunity, obviously, that you would really have to get the free settler. But since the settler is guarded, I'm not going to hang out there and try and swoop in there, because he's probably going to keep it guarded. So we'll continue to move out this way. We've got some more elephants, more desert, and another fresh water source. But this fresh water source is very close to John Curtin, so we might not even be able to settle there, or we might upset him by settling there. Either one not being great, although the latter would get you 30 diplomatic points for just agreeing not to settle, but you would lose some relationship status with John Curtin, and everybody who knows you want to keep your relationship status up with John Curtin. I don't know, really, actually. But we finished our slinger over here. So now we have some more exploring options. So we're not going to go south because we're already exploring to the south, and we know that John Curtin is down there. So we're going to go over this way, and we're going to see what we've got here. And not a lot of new information there. So now we know that we have access to Beowulf here, but we also are going to be looking to want to get our builder out. But I think that we're still going to slow up on the builder here, so we're going to get a slow infrastructure start, and that's simply because I don't have any governor titles yet ready to accelerate on our builder, and we don't have a culture source to really get the civics bar moving. So that's the reason why we're not in a hurry to get a builder to get more infrastructure in place. That might change here depending on what we get with this hut. So let's take a look and see what we get in the hut. Not Jabba, hopefully. Jabba. Alright, so we got the early empire boost and nothing else. So we didn't get a secret society off it, so thus we didn't get a governor title off of it. So you have to call the ambulance for me. That didn't, not happy with that. So we see some other, these are just epically amazing tiles. So we actually really want to look into getting a second settler out in that direction. Although we can't reach that tile. So yeah, I think that we're going to want to strongly consider trying to settle in that direction. I'll take the free extra exploration over in this direction. Oh, no, I won't, because it's not high enough land. So I just walked that way for no reason. So that's not great, but still nothing changes. We're still going to be building the monument here. And now we've got some new information that a barbarian camp settled over there. So that's going to give us an opportunity to try and get our archery boost. So we've got some more amazing spice tiles over here. This is like, it's like Dune. The spice is clearly, apparently, the most valuable. It's amazingly valuable. He who rules the spice will rule. So, or she, I guess, in this case. So we've got 1 turn until pottery, and we're going to make our way over with our slinger and give up the exploration instead for the opportunity to take out this barbarian camp down here. And now, we probably, even though we got that astrology boost, we also have the writing boost. So we're going to go ahead on working on getting down our special district. So, wow, okay, so this is, we know that there's a fresh water source here, and we definitely have to get a settler down here, because that is just a disproportionately good area here. It's just amazing. I was not aware that the chili peppers were considered a spice in just their full vegetable form, but apparently they are. So so we'll scout out this amazing area that we need to get before John Curtin gets there. So we are still going to try and finish out our monument here, because we might want that early Beowulf in case John Curtin tries to get a little feisty over there. So that's where we are at. We are at now, and we've gone, through sort of the
This
basic logic
volcano is
of sort of the decisions there. I'm not sure. So I didn't get a first meet here against. That means there's probably another civilization on the other side here. So these non-first meets are really annoying. And we still don't have a governor title on turn 14. So basically we have like a lot of like it's basically like we just have this big cock tease area out here where it's like, oh, look at all this awesome stuff around, but we're not going to give you any discoveries to actually, help you get built out to there. So so that is where we're at here. So we've got the jungle cover here, so I feel safe doing one ping and then retreating on the spearman. If you were on flat land, the spearman would likely kill you if you did that. So I don't recommend doing that on flat land if they're coming out at you. So this is just painfully slow right now on this progress. Now John Curtin is probably going to try and kill steal me here. So, but we're going to move away and sorry, yeah, so they just stole that
enacting.
and now
It
they're
is
gonna
not
steal
wisdom,
the
but authority that make.
kill as well that I'm not gonna get on my slinger. So that's very, very upsetting. But so yeah, because John Curtin has angered me like I didn't have a slow enough start already. So we're almost done with the monument here. And really, so this is the reason why we took more damage there, because we didn't have that yet. We're going to go ahead and try and get our Pantheon out, so we'll slot God King. Although we're so far behind on production, I almost felt like I should have gone with the production card there. So we finally got our monument down, so at least we'll generate some extra culture every turn. And now we really do need to get that builder out. But we also want to get a settler out. So this is difficult to do. Like, this is another one of those difficult choices where if you haven't had any discoveries, what to do here. Normally I'd probably go with builder here, but oh, so this is a coastline up here. Ugh, but there's another barbarian encampment down here, so I'm not going to go with settler. Like, I was going to go with settler and try and rush down there, but, well, we actually still can as long as there's not a lot of barbarians there. I can just get the city down and actually use the city to actually hurt the barbarians if they try and attack it, as long as there's not a lot of them. So if we take the settler now, we're not running up against the housing cap, so we don't get that sort of that benefit of getting, necessarily having to avert the soft cap bonus for running up against the housing limit by taking the settler. But those tiles are just so good, I think that we can forego most of... I think they're worth taking the slower settler build here. And it's not like we're nearing up on a political philosophy or anything where we're going to get that building down that gives us, or where we're going to get the the increased settler production card actually isn't political philosophy. It is the early empire, but we're not close enough to it that we really need to make that as a part of our consideration on saying like we don't want to do this settler right now. So we're going to continue building here, and I'm going to cut out here and we'll pick up in a little bit after we've made some actual progress, since we've seen a lot of the map and I'm just wandering around here with my warrior at this point. So we are on turn 28, and unfortunately John Curtin has forward settled over in this direction, trying to hem us in here. We did pick up our governor title, and John Curtin being a douchebag here, he's also not helping clear out this barb camp. He only just ran over here to take the easy kills. So so here we are, and we're actually, we're going to go ahead and ping one more time, even though we won't get experience for it, because the spearman shouldn't kill us on the next attack, because he did less than 50% of our health on the first attack. So we still have room to settle over here, but now we're going to have to worry about loyalty, because We've got John Curtin trying to settle down there. Now we did get a governor title finally. So first, actually, before we consider our governor title, let's go ahead and place our specialty district, the Paseo, on here. So here we know that the mine that we're going to get a mine that gets a bonus off of this, and I believe that citrus gets a plantation, so that won't benefit off of the adjacency bonus. So if we come down, if we put it here, it's taking 2 mountain adjacency slots, which I don't like. So I think that, but here it's more likely to be next to a district that we later want to place. But I think that this is the better choice back here. So we're gonna place it back here because these will likely be able to we'll be able to turn these into farms. So we'll just lose the one, and here we'll get the boost to it. So let's go ahead and place the Sayawan district here. We'll get it out in 5 turns. And I thought that we got a governor title. Maybe not. I could have swore the advisor just said that we had a governor title, but they completely lied. They were just advising us that we have the ability to get a governor title. So we delayed the governor title because we don't actually have a governor. So that's where we are on turn 28, and unfortunately we're more limited on where we can place here, so we'll probably have to place over there. I don't think we can kill the spearman here, so we'll take our promotion, and then we'll continue moving down here. You can see our exploration has sort of been not great, to say the least.
Who deserves more credit than the one?
And now we finished our Sayawan district, which is great because no, we didn't finish it. We are being blocked by that stupid scout. So hopefully it should move off of there next turn, but we need to consider what we want to change into making in the interim. So I think we'll maybe consider starting our so we're gonna have a branching decision on whether or not we want to try and get aggressive about John Curtin trying to hem us in here. Problem is he obviously is gonna have the military advantage, so we'll have to rely sort of on Beowulf. But normally, if I was going more if I wasn't considering aggression here, I would take the trader. But because I am, I think that we want to take another slinger here. Now we will start working on astrology to try and leave the religion option on the table, even though I'd like to go animal husbandry here. I know I don't have an immediate plan for needing animal husbandry other than the fact that I need to get into archery, which is still obviously important, which we just did get the boost for, but I want to try and relieve religion as an option on the table for our starting build, so that is the reason that we are not going into animal husbandry right now. So we'll make sure to switch this back to the Sayawan now that our scout friend has moved off of there, and the barbarian camp immediately respawned, which is not cool because I was just about to take that barbarian camp out. And then this guy went back on to stand on there. So this game is being extremely irritating right now. It's, you know, very sad face at the way the AI and the barbarians are playing right now. So not for them. They're doing their job. So that's where we are. We're about to get our settlement down on turn 32, and you can see here on turn 38 that John Curtin's forward settled here with Sydney, and they look to be moving in for one of those AI surprise attacks. So the goal here is to try and fend off and counter push the attack without overly investing in military. So you can see I still want to finish my Sayawan here. And so the goal is to use what defensive positioning that we have in place to push back a potential attack without losing all of our progress towards infrastructure. So I'm going to finish that Sayawan there, and then we will finally get the opportunity to appoint a governor here. So the fact that they are looking to be the aggressor here is not going to change our governor selection. Like, I'm not going to suddenly take Victor here. I don't think that that is worthwhile. Now, the governor decision here, I think, because I don't have a builder out yet, we could try and put in Liang to get the extra charge off the builder. The other options, obviously, is I have one chop with Magnus here, nothing here, so I don't think that Magnus is necessarily a good choice there. So what I think we're actually going to do is we're actually going to take Reyna here, because what we want to do is expand our borders out faster over here, because we don't want to lose the river there. So I'm going to go ahead and appoint Reyna in the second city to give us the border expansion. And there'll also be some unimproved tiles around here for when Reyna gets her second promotion. So now, I mentioned before that you don't want to give up on building your infrastructure, that you want to get a minimal amount, like you want to build the minimal amount you need to push back while still working on your infrastructure. So we know that we can build Beowulf in 2 turns, and we know that we need a builder. So because it's so short to build Beowulf, it will only be giving up 2 turns there, and this looks to be a likely attack. I think that we would maybe build Beowulf, but we don't know for sure that they're going to attack yet, even though it's super likely. So we're going to go into the builder for now, and then if they attack, we'll switch over to Beowulf, which will only lose us 2 turns. We'll go into animal husbandry here, because now we do want to go down the archery path, given that there's a much higher chance of aggression here. So they have 4 units, but nothing that the archers do outclass our current units, because we have slingers, but there is nothing at this point where they're going to overwhelm us with better military technology. So as you can see, now they are attacking. So we could have gotten Beowulf a little quicker, but we know that we can switch over here now, and we'll just give up 2 turns, apparently 3 turns, to get Beowulf out. So we're being attacked here. So I want to try and move over into the, like, if I move over here, let me see. So I don't want to move in this direction because, actually, because of the way this terrain is, because it's a movement cost of 2, I can move in on this archer without this archer hitting me. So I am going to do that because I still have the hills positioning there. And if this archer was able to move and fire, I wouldn't move my guy up. I would retreat and try and get this archer to move back. So here I have defensive positioning, but I could possibly get hit by twice. But because of where I'm positioned, I think I have enough defense to actually absorb 2 hits here. So I'm going to hit this warrior once. And then I can't come out and hit this guy, unfortunately. So that gives us a little bit of a difficult decision. I think what we'll do is we can't come out and hit either guy, actually. So we are going to want to move this guy out. I think that we will. Well, no, if we move him out this direction, the archer is going to be able to hit him without moving. So I think the optimal play here, actually, it might be to move out in. Now, I think we're going to leave. We're going to leave him in place. So we'll just hit the next turn, and we'll see what develops here on our defensive front. So, as you can see, I was able to absorb 1 hit with Slinger there. They advanced in with the warrior here. So, since we left our Slinger here, we'll be able to ping once there. And then we're going to move, actually, this way so that we can still only get hit by 1 archer. And then here. So unfortunately, like, depending on what the AI does, we might lose a guy here. Like, because if the archer fires, we're probably more than likely going to lose our unit here, even if we move him back here. So, but that would save a turn on the archer firing on our city. The other option is, just because we know we're going to lose our guy, to go ahead and do what damage we can, which I think that might be the option that we take. But if the archer fires in place here, we know then that this warrior will have to cross over this way rather than this way, giving him a longer route to the city. So because of that, we are gonna move back one, and then we will see what progresses from there. Now we have 232 gold, so we can purchase another defensive unit. So if we purchase one from here, though, because we can't purchase one from here because the slinger is occupying the spot. So if we purchase one from here, it will take a couple of turns for them to move up. So I think what we'll do is look for an opportunity to move the slinger out and purchase the defensive unit from the city that's being sieged here. So as predicted,
If there are no dogs in...
this warrior will have to take the long way around, but we did get a hit in on the we prevented a hit from the archer on the city. So now what we're going to want to do is, the problem is because of the surrounding city, there's not a good option to move out and then buy, because this is a 3 movement cost tile here, and they can both hit me if I move onto that tile. So there's still no good opportunity for buying a unit here, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna start researching archery here. And now, if we kill this guy, he's just gonna run. They're just gonna run up and replace him. So I think what we'll do actually is we're going to fortify here, and I think we are gonna try and buy a unit. So I will move back my slinger here, and then we are going to purchase a so I think a warrior purchase might be more in order there, because they will do more damage if they're having their archers right up on the city here. So normally I would just buy another slinger here, but we are going to purchase a warrior instead because of the proximity of these archers. And then we have Beowulf coming in next turn. So it looks like we didn't actually take any damage this turn. So they played sort of badly there, which the AI does, even on Deity. And now we can select our Pantheon. So we could take the Divine Spark, which is a good default choice, as well as River Goddess, because there's nothing really that we need to do to make that work other than place our holy site adjacent to rivers. Now the Rainforest bonus is a little bit interesting here, but I don't think there's enough Rainforest tiles that we don't want to chop to make that worthwhile. So that leaves us with the plantation one, which could be very strong given the amount of spice here, along with the orange here. And it's not one that I take a lot, so I'm actually considering taking that one just for fun. Let's see how we are on amenities. We're okay. Not there though. So, but we don't really have time to build a holy site right now. But we also really don't have time to build plantations. So let's see how we are on this. We might need to take the Great Person one actually, just because there's danger of not getting a religion, and then we sort of wasted that investment. So I think what we will do is we will actually take Divine Spark here, which will require us to build a Pantheon, obviously, or a holy site, obviously. But we've got Beowulf out here now, so we're going to take the opportunity to finish this builder. We'll bring Beowulf out here, and now I think what we'll do is we will bring our warrior out here to prevent this warrior from coming in. So now they have to use their one warrior that they have to get into the city, if they want to get into the city. And now I can move back in with my slinger, and I'll still be able to attack. So I'm going to prioritize the warrior over the archer here, and that's simply because the archers can't take the city. So what I want to make sure is that they aren't able to get in and claim the city. Like that would be a disaster, so we don't want that. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually try and sneak in our holy site, probably back here. Well, let's see where the Say one would want to be built. Here. So I think, yeah. So we're gonna place our holy site back here. And so you can see I'm still trying to get infrastructure in, so I'm trying to gauge how much I can get away with the current level of troops that I have without it disrupting what I'm doing for military. All right, so I cut over here to this turn so we can sort of focus on how Beowulf works here if you are using him on the early game defense. So you can see we are still concentrating on building infrastructure here and trying to deal with Australia's push here with what we've got on the table already. So right now we know that we have Beowulf, and Beowulf he has 3 movement and 6 charges. So if we move into this tile here, it will cost him all 3 movement. So that is not, well, actually no, it won't, because we can move. Yeah, it will. So knowing that that will cost him all 3 movement, we want to consider the best way to use him. So if we just use a charge here, we can use a charge to eliminate this unit. So if we do that, that will use up 1 of his movement, and then actually this says it's 3 movement cost, but I can still move in that direction. So that's interesting. So even though he only has 2 movement remaining, so we'll move him in there, and now we can go ahead and eliminate. Oh, I misclicked there. That was not what I meant to do. So we'll eliminate this threat here, and then he is going to stay in defensive position here. So you can see we're still building our infrastructure, and now there's only 1 unit left that can take this city. So what we're going to do is we are going to use Beowulf's ability to delete this archer unit, and then we will advance in. Actually, we will. So having more damage on units will reduce their attack, so that's why I'm taking the losing battle here to go ahead and attack him. So, and we will likewise attack this archer. So that should reduce their attack damage enough so that I'm not losing the city on this round. So you see, that saves me from having a loss of the city there. So now Beowulf still has 32 health with 34 melee strength, so he can delete this unit behind us still. So he's going to do that, and then that's going to leave him enough movement here so that he can come in and attack this unit still, and then we'll finish this off with this warrior, and then we'll finish off this warrior here. So now we still have all 4 units, but John Curtin has lost all of his military, and in the meantime we've finished our builder, and we are still building our holy site here. So we were able to work on our infrastructure here still without necessarily losing our any of our military. So that's a plus. And then we are going to. Now the question is do we want to continue building infrastructure here, or do we want to supplement the military? So now that we've got the archers unlocked here, actually, so the problem is we see that John Curtin actually already has walls up on Sydney. So there's a limit to how much that we can benefit off of military, because we're not going to want to attack the city with walls. Like that's like without any catapults, that's going to be really a losing proposition for the most part, and archers aren't going to help a lot with those walls. So knowing that tends to make the library here a more attractive proposition. So I think that is the correct play. That we're going to build the library here, and then we will rest up our troops, because we don't have a lot of vision here. We can't see how much that they're gonna necessarily supplement here, and we have built our quarry, and now I forgot that this won't get the adjacency bonus because it's a quarry and not a mine, so that's unfortunate. But we will work on irrigation, and then we have a policy change here. So we have our Pantheon, so we're going to want to switch to the production instead of the faith. And then we're not fighting any barbarians right now, so we're going to go ahead and increase our capacity to build military there. So now that we've slotted in that card, we may want to reconsider and switch here because we are going to build our military 50% faster. So with that in mind, I think we will go ahead and switch over to Archer because of that. Well, let's see what we are doing here. So we're going to work on state workforce because we already have the boost here. And let's go ahead and switch over to Archer here. So now we're going to want to rest up our troops. And we'll want to go ahead and spend the 60 gold to upgrade this to an Archer. The card to upgrade is not anytime soon, so we don't need to worry about that so much. So we hit a normal age, so nothing spectacular here. And we'll go ahead and make our dedication. Now, let's see where we are on whether or not we anticipate that we're going to be getting a religion or not. So we're behind here. So it would be a potential waste if we took, like, I like the Exodus of Evangelist, but we potentially are not going to get to found a religion. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Free Inquiry. I think that one is a little easier to get the Eureka bonuses. So we have 25 lifespan left on Beowulf, so we have time to heal him up. And then we'll go ahead and sit here with our Archer still, because our 4 frontline troops aren't healed up. So it's going to be 3 turns till we finish irrigation. So we might take that opportunity to walk down here. Well, let's see. So we have 2 charges remaining left on this builder. If we get a governor. So if we take a look at this, we can't chop any of that jungle yet right now because we don't have bronze working. So I think we'll take the opportunity to walk down there, and then we'll continue on with what we're building here. So now they're bringing in, he's bringing in one troop. So we want to look for an opportunity to possibly pick this guy off. But I don't want to stop my healing here. And if I move out here, it's only going to... So what we'll do is Beowulf has like a decent amount of health here already. So we'll move him forward. And then we'll move this forward so that we have a better option to ping there. And then I'm going to try and move our worker over here so that when irrigation's finished, we can add on to our city down here. So we've got 2 turns to our other archer. So he did go ahead and hit Beowulf. So, but now we've moved our archer forward in place. So we're going to get 1 hit on there, and his promotion will be available. And now the question is, do I want to finish this guy off? We will. We'll go ahead and finish him off with Beowulf. I don't think that we are in risk of losing him there, but we'll have to take longer for him to go back and heal now, unfortunately. So now they're coming. Now Australia is coming, advancing with horsemen.
We are now ready.
And now we have
Lived
unlocked our second governor title. So now I think we'll do is we're going to want the higher value for Magnus's chops. So let's go ahead and appoint Magnus up into the capital city. And then do we want to try and finish our library here, or do we want to work on our government plaza to get better settling? So what we'll do is we will actually, we're 21 turns till growth, so we haven't hit the soft cap yet on the housing. We're growing at a normal rate, but we anticipate that might happen soon, so we don't necessarily want to lose out on that. So because we've got Magnus out and we're going to get a better value on those woods chops, I think we're going to work on a builder right now. we'll bring this builder over here, and then we'll work on finishing masonry, even though I don't think we need the walls at this point because we're managing sort of an offensive game here. So we're going to try and get the barbarian off of us. It's unfortunate that we don't have political philosophy because we are losing a little bit then on that race for a great profit. So right now we aren't building any military units, so I'm going to switch this in to save us a little bit of money on these next couple of turns. And then we'll bring this forward and we can advance here forward, and then we can fall Beowulf back because he's got 34 melee strength, and this actually, see, he doesn't have enough strength to delete that unit, so we're going to fall back here and we're going to take a defensive position, and then I believe we're set. I'm not liking our chances of picking up the religion here. Like, if you can see, we are at 0 and everybody else is generating quite a bit. Like, there's a chance we could do it with holy site prayers, but I'm not liking those chances a lot. I don't know. We might try and do it still, but they're generating a lot of points and we are not. So let's see. So we're going to go ahead and ping the horse archer here. We're going to keep fortifying with Beowulf, and then we're going to advance up on our position. And then we'll go ahead and build this plantation. And we don't want to move in range of the walls, so we're going to come this way. And now they've got a couple of horsemen down. And so the question is do we want to waste time on holy site prayers here to try and get the religion? So right now, they're getting 5 per turn, so that would take them 11 turns, and we're barely generating anything. We don't have enough money to buy the shrine. If we don't do holy site prayers, we're definitely not getting a... We're going to try it. I'd like to try and get the boost for getting a religion, so let's go ahead and do that. This would be a good test to see if we are, able to still get a religion while fending off this attack, because that obviously is interfered with our resources because we had to ramp up into some military more than we would have normally invested here. So we can go ahead and move our settler down. Actually, if we split this off and we do a camp here, this isn't as good of a tile, but it gives us an additional luxury resource. Let's see which tiles we're working now. We are working that tile, so let's go ahead and do that. And we have 2 turns till we finish our worker. We just got beat up a little bit there. So now we've finished military tradition, so that helps because now we will get a flanking bonus on adjacent troops. Now, this card would help us with the race, but we're not going to be able to use it without political philosophy, so I'm not really going to bother with that now. And then the question is are we going to have to ramp out more troops? Should we swap? So if we know we're going to push out a troop here, we should swap cards. But I don't think we are. So if we're not doing that, we should leave the maintenance card in place because it's saving us money. Other than that, I don't see... Well, actually, yeah. Other than that, I don't see a change that we would want to make. So we're going to go ahead and fall back into the hill position here. We'll go ahead and take this opportunity to take the promotion here. And if I move up here, I'm going to be in range of the walls. So I don't really like that. So we will move like that and move our archer up one. And then we're going to try and get down here to get this camp amenity. So here we go. Alright, so even falling back with our warrior, we did lose our warrior there. So that is unfortunate. We've got our other builder here. And now we can probably go ahead and try and use a chop here because we have other 4 production tiles that we can be using. So we'll be able to use this chop. And we can use that chop to finish a... probably we can use the chop to chop out a granary quick. Or finish this library quick. So right now the chop is going to... we don't know how much the chop is going to be worth because we can't see it right now. So let's go ahead and start working on bronze working. Actually, let's go ahead and start working on this for the watermill. So although we would like to reveal bronze, we would also like to get a catapult, but that would require us then to build ancient walls. So which would... so the other option is like I don't like to use the battering ram much, and we don't know if there's going to be a nearby source of iron, and we're probably not going to finish 3 barbarians, but we're also probably not going to mine a resource in the immediate vicinity here. So those all are sort of difficult boosts to get in our immediate... but if we take bronze working first, then that might give us a chance to mine a resource. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to put one into the... actually, so the other option here would be to chop into the holy site. And how are 3 or 4 religions taken? Because there's only... this is odd. So it says 3 or 4 religions are taken, but the great prophets' statuses don't seem to match that. So I'd be really annoyed if I don't get the religion here because I invested initially in getting it. So I'm going to use the chop to try and get down one more holy site to accumulate points. And then we're going to go ahead and take this horse down with our archers. Move this guy. Oh, we won't take him down with our archers, unfortunately. I thought we would, but we won't. And so I don't want to use Beowulf. I don't want to lose that much health with Beowulf to get just a little bit of health off the horse archer. So we're going to maintain the defensive position there. And now they are advancing with spearmen as well. So let's go ahead and... so we're going to use... are we out? We're not out of charges, so why is the not... oh, I have to wake him up. It says no targets available because the horseman is at too much health. So if we do a ping here, that is still going to be unavailable. So maybe I should have taken the opportunity to kill him before. Because we're still going, like, now I had to waste extra turns because I wasn't willing to move Beowulf out and expose him before, and I kept in a defensive position. So if I move him out here, he will probably be killed, is the thing. So we don't want that. So we are going to move we're going to advance our warrior up here. And now we are going to take this chop here That's still not going to be done in time. It's not looking great here. All right. So now let's see where we are on the great person status. We are still way behind. So I'm going to crank out one more Holy Site prayer here. We'll advance in on here. We will shoot this guy, and I think this should kill him. We'll shoot him there, and then we will rest Beowulf. And now we've taken that chop. If we move up here, it's not going to be a good value on that second chop, but we cannot chop rainforest yet. So I think what we'll do here actually is we'll build a mine, which actually would just bring this tile up back to what it was before is the problem. So I think what we'll do is we'll get ready for our second chop here, and then we are set. Alright, so now they're coming out with skirmish. They're just coming out with like every different possible unit, apparently. So we will ping here. Then I'm going to move Beowulf out this way. We have major defeat here, but this is a ranged unit, so I'm probably, unfortunately, going to. I think that we're going to lose the. We're probably going to lose the warrior there. It's my guess. I'm not positive, but we're set up here for the second chop, so we're just going to wait, and then we'll see what happens here. So that's a good turn because he just repositioned and didn't damage any of my guys. So now we have finished the we finished that holy site, and I still don't understand how the other religions are founded. So it might be some kind of. So we're getting 2 great pop points a turn. So what I think we'll do actually here then is we'll take the shrine here, and we will take the chop here, so that we'll get the shrine out next turn, and then we will ping here. And let me see if we bring out here. Can we delete this guy? We can. So we'll just delete this spearman. And then we will hit that guy, and we'll continue to rest here. So we still have these 4 units, and we've pushed back the attack. So let's see if we are still able to get to the religion in time. So I don't like where this is heading. So it's going to take 4 turns to get a Holy Site Prayers finished here. And in 4 turns, this one, they'll be finished. And they'll be finished. And they'll be finished. There's no point in doing one here. So let's go ahead and go back into finishing our library up. And then I'm going to improve the citrus tile here. So Beowulf only has 16 turns left, and I'll be able to pillage this farm if I move in here. So I am going to go ahead and take the absorb the damage from the walls there, and we'll go ahead and ping the skirmisher. We'll rest here. So we'll cross here, and I'll be able to pillage the farm. And let's see. So go ahead and build the plantation here. And so now you can see John Curtin is offering money in exchange for peace here. So what I'll probably do is refuse the deal here first, and I will
I'm also interested.
and take my turn and then take peace, because this way I can go ahead and pillage his farm first, and then actually I don't know if I necessarily will take peace then. So we've got the campus under construction here. We did get the Great Prophet, so you can see we managed to fend off the attack and still get a religion in place, which is nice. And then we'll go ahead and start working on this because so we'll need to get another builder out here. So we'll go to builder out here and then we'll improve that, which will give us the boost for that. So let's go ahead and found our religion. Lion of Love. And then we're going to go ahead and take um, so we don't have great adjacency bonuses right now. I mean, work ethic would be nice because we could speed up our production, and both of our cities have holy sites. So this has 2 adjacency bonus, so we'd effectively get 2 production out of that. And then this one has 2 adjacency bonus, so we'd effectively get 2 production out of that. So we're able to increase those bonuses by putting districts next to them. So even though those are weak bonuses, I might actually go ahead and take. It might be worth going ahead and taking that for that little production edge early. Um, but the other option here is obviously we can generate a ton of faith and tourism off of the Beowulf heroic epic from when he goes away. So I don't think it's worth ethics for a 2 adjacency bonus. So we're gonna go ahead and take reliquaries, and then we're gonna choose our religion beliefs. So we know we're getting great person points faster, and then we're gonna want to, I think, ramp up our money production possibly. But we do also need amenities. So, but we have lots of other stuff to build right now, so I don't think I'm going to take one of the building ones because those require a temple in the first place. So I think what we will do is we need additional funds, so let's go ahead and take tithe. Not to be confused with tide. We don't need to clean our clothes. We need to donate 10% to our state. All right. Our state church, that is. All right. So we'll rest in place with our archer. And then bring this guy up to see what's going on. So we'll fortify here. We'll move up here. And then he used up his turn pillaging, so we don't have any other turns left. So it doesn't look like we can switch off this because we don't look like we're going to have an opportunity to meet a 3rd city-state right now. So we're going to have to keep doing that. So you can see we are very much behind on culture. So that's a negative. The Beowulf's only got 13 lifespan left. So I'm going to try and get in here and pillage this campus. Hopefully I can do that before he dies. So we aren't going to take peace because I want to pillage the campus first. Then we're going to move the archers up in position. And then we're going to go ahead more. So he's going to survive, so he's going to get a chance to pillage this campus. So that's going to give us 49 science. But the question is, I don't think I want to put it towards ironworking right now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that 39 science and we're going to take it and we're going to put it towards horseback riding, possibly. So let's go ahead and take the pillage now. And then we'll switch back to ironworking. And we'll use our archer to ping the horsemen. And we'll use this archer to ping the horseman. And then we'll move on to next turn. So we're probably going to lose Beowulf here. We're not going to make peace quite yet, because we don't have any reason to right yet. So now we lost Beowulf, but we're going to get that nice reliquary bonus of 6 faith, 3 tourism, and 2 culture, and we are way behind on culture, so that helps. So we're going to continue to advance up on this guy. You can see Perth has walls now too, which is annoying. And one more turn till we get our builder, and 2 more turns till we get our library here. So, oh wow, they did something really dumb here. Okay, so this is actually really great for us. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll take our free settler. Wow, okay. So that helps a lot. So we'll move at this point, but you can see that we've stabilized the board, and we aren't doing particularly great, but think of how much worse off that we would be doing if we had not, if we had just invested in defense and not any infrastructure. And there is the argument that, well, you could have counter pushed and taken back that city, but I really don't think that that would have happened, to be quite honest with you there. So that's where we are. It's a quick overview on how to stabilize early game aggression against a forward settling AI. So anyway, thanks for tuning in.